terms of some other headlines we've seen out of Tesla, did get some data on China sales, and the Model Y reportedly ranks highly in China, despite the fact that it's actually facing increased competition and actually saw sales decline in this period. So from January to July of this year, the Model Y saw above 298,000 wholesale sales. So that made it the top-selling battery electric vehicle model. It was a 17% decrease compared to last year, but notable that it was still number one. Now, BYD's Seagull came in second with more than 227,000 vehicles sold. So closing the gap, but still behind Tesla in terms of the actual battery electric vehicle. Obviously, competition is tough in China. As of now, BYD, the overall in terms of the EV makers is number one, but Tesla's Model Y number one compared to the Seagull. The other thing that I thought was important to note in terms of Tesla news, I don't know if you saw this, but I had seen some reports, and so I did some digging myself, that the lowest cost Cybertruck, which was around $61,000, is no longer available. You can no longer order that. You have to opt for the more expensive Cybertrucks, which according to the website start at $94,000 now. So if you were hoping to scoop one up for the lower cost, you're out of luck. But hey, if you have an extra $100,000 to spend, you can get a Cybertruck.
Here we have the current stock market update for Tesla Incorporated, stock ticker TSLA. Before we begin, if you find these educational materials to be helpful in your trading, please remember to click the like and subscribe buttons and leave your thoughts in the comment section below so that other traders will be able to find this information more easily on the platform. So as we can see here, we have the 4-hour price chart. It's a bit of a longer term time frame. And if we sort of drill in a bit here, we can currently see that share prices are trending lower at the moment. We've seen several major candles here posting to the downside, and this is somewhat surprising activity given the fact that share prices did manage to break above this 228 resistance level that had been watched previously. So as we can see here, share prices trading above this resistance zone and then posting new near-term highs coming in at $235. So at the moment, as things stand, this is the main level of resistance to watch to the top side. To the downside, what we're looking at is a near-term price low coming in at 202.60. So essentially, this is the trading range that I would be watching at the moment. If we do see a break above either of these levels, or above or below either of these levels, I should say, we would expect to see some continuation in the market, given the fact that the broader trajectory here is signifying substantial levels of momentum that has been seen across the entire technology space. So if we sort of pull out here a bit, we can see that this major trending movement from 138 to 271 did culminate ultimately in a share price low that did test the 61.8% Fibonacci retracement of this trending move, coming in just below 190, roughly 189.20. Here we can see that share prices did have a bit of a false breakout here to the downside because we did see share prices spike lower into this 182 area. However, we did not see a price close into this area. So this did suggest that share prices, had the potential to start moving higher. As we can see, that price movement here has started to stall because into the end of this trading week, we are seeing some fairly significant rounds of selling pressure that have also been confirmed by near-term readings in the stock's trading volume that also point in the negative direction. So as things currently stand, what we would need to see here is a break below this roughly 202.50 area, because this is also where the 200 period exponential moving average currently rests. As we can see here, this is this rising blue line here. So ultimately, this does coincide quite well with the historical support zone that is found in this area. So finally, we'll just sort of look out at the indicator reading here to see where things stand as far as that would be concerned. So as things stand currently, we are seeing a bit of an attempt to develop some upward trading momentum here. We have seen some small breaks to the downside, but for the most part, this trend line has remained intact on the 4-hour time frame. Currently, the RSI, the Relative Strength Index, that's the purple line on the bottom of the price chart here, we're trading right around the mid-level of the histogram. So this does suggest that share prices have the potential to move quite far in both directions before becoming either overbought or oversold. So this is a bit of a neutral reading, but at the moment we would err on the bullish bearish side of the equation, given the fact that this uptrend in share price momentum has remained intact. And this would also mean that the share price, if we do start to move higher, would have a fair amount of room to the top side before things start to become overbought. So currently, this 235 level is sort of the main line in the sand here. We did see a prior break of resistance, but if this is anything like the prior downside break, which came in at 182, we do see some potential here for some downside price movement, given these most recent moves higher, and the fact that prices have now failed right into this 235 zone.
Is it safe to say, based off some of this data that you had from the global EV data, that the biggest competitors Tesla has are those that are being manufactured in China? It's not the Rivians or some of these other legacy automakers that are here in the U.S. at this point?
Definitely important to note, Alex, in terms of, kind of the separation of businesses between X and Tesla. Although we have seen Tesla shares under pressure when shareholders feel like Elon Musk is too focused on some of his other businesses. Doesn't seem to be the case right now, but we have seen it obviously weigh on Tesla shares in the past. In terms of competition, yes. I mean, if you take a look at the delivery numbers with the BYD Seagull in the 223,000 range, as opposed to, the delivery numbers from a Rivian, say, it's definitely kind of pales in comparison in terms of the competition. But I think it is important to note that competition overall is heating up. There is some other EV data out from an EV researcher named Row Motion, talking about just how overall the market continues to show growth. So it was up 21% globally compared to the same period a year ago. China's EV market, though, grew by 31%. So that's really a key growth market there. In the US and Canada, EV sales grew by about 10% year to date between January and July, compared to the same time period and then in 2023. And then actually EV sales in the EU and UK actually fell, likely due to tariffs. So, EV sales growing, but there are obviously key markets that are very important, China being one of them. Still, not in the lead when you compare overall companies. BYD is the number one maker there. But I think it's going to be important. We hear analysts talk about this as well, for Tesla to really kind of maintain market share there.
Our high value trading strategies membership is currently available for a limited time for only $9.99 per month. These high conviction investment strategies are characterized by superior risk to reward metrics that target massive market beating returns over time. Join now to outperform the market. Lock in this special introductory rate of just $9.99 per month for the entire lifetime of your membership and start trading stocks with the pros.